Hey everybody, Will Robson here. You can check out my work at facebook.com/RobsonINK. So this is going to be a series of videos I'll be making on the process of creating a comic book pinup. I was actually contacted by a client by seeing my Green Goblin video about doing a pinup for their book called Lady Frostblood, I believe. And I had a read, it was very good. It was, I'm not going to give anything away, but there will be links about that because I believe this is going to be used for a Kickstarter. So what the client requested was they liked the idea that I like John Byrne, so they wanted me to have something in an alleyway with lots of textures and all sorts of things. So to start out with, I tried to draw an interesting background and then put the characters in, which is something I usually wouldn't do, but I just wanted to have sort of like a dumpster and a pipe and a window with boards on it, so I've got different textures going on with wood and pipes and dumpsters and trash and stuff like that. And recently in all of my client projects I've ended up drawing a lot of trash, which is fine because trash is fun to draw. So here I'm putting in a grid to try and make a rule of threes structure, which essentially means if you can sort of, wherever those lines intercross, if you can put the focus there, then it will be, it just makes good composition. So now I'm just chucking in random figures to get a feel for it. I'm trying to do some really insane angles, and then I think I eventually just start sketching out a figure. I figured she would be punching, oh yeah, sorry, well, what I have to do is the main character, who is Lady Frostblood, needs to be punching or fighting Russian mobsters in an alleyway, so that's what I'm going for here. So I change her body position here so it's sort of just poking out a bit more, so there's even more of a forced punch, because right now it's sort of a bit of a relaxed punch, as you can see going on here. So I've sort of ignored the background right now, but I'll get to the background later on. So what I do is, yeah, I start to move it around, and then I wasn't going to actually use the background I drew, but then I realized, hang on, this figure can probably fit into that background that I drew. And I'm trying to make this as dynamic as possible, so I'm trying to really push the limits of my figure drawing. And you know, a pin-up is supposed to show off the best sort of work you can possibly do. And you know, drawing action certainly helps, because action means you can chuck these guys in loads of positions. So here I was trying to put a guy getting punched, and I was having trouble sort of fitting in a character without taking any focus away from her. I didn't want anything covering her, because she's supposed to be the focus. And what I do eventually is I sort of draw like a little, like there I was trying to draw a leg in first and go from there, but as you can see his body would be completely out of the frame. What I eventually do is I draw a circle sort of around where I want to fit him, and I sort of try and fit him in this circle. So as you see there, I drew a circle, and then I started sort of just chucking in a person in that shape, because if you can sort of draw stuff to fit inside of shapes, then it's a lot easier to find an interesting composition. So that's what I was doing here. So I'm sort of having it, I was going to have like teeth flying, or you know, blood splattering, and she sort of, I picture she just jumped off the catwalk and she's got like a knee on the dumpster and she's punching the guy. Now I've actually already talked to the client, this will be in the next video, and he said that she looks too much like in an Impossible Spider-Man pose. And since he said that, I, you know, granted it takes ages to do these things, but the moment he said that, I sort of really agree with him, because all I could see is the Spider-Man pose after that. So the next video will be me trying to stick her in as many different positions to show to the client as possible, so he can choose the one that he likes. So now I'm sort of adding these other Russian mobsters in the background, and I'm trying to really do a sort of middle ground, foreground, and background. So she's, even though she's the focus, she is the background character, and it's essentially that guy getting punched as well. The middle ground character is the guy on the right, and then the foreground character, which I'm trying to draw here, is going to be the guy on the left. And it's sort of, it just builds up levels to your art, it adds more dimensions. You should always try and think of middle ground, foreground, and background, and also it can cover up doing a lot of extra background work. So I think I stick him there, I do that. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to change her pose, but That's not the end of the world. I can do something better. You know, if the client's not happy, you got to do what the client says. You can't have an ego about what you're doing because they are paying you for your services. And I agree with him that maybe it would look too much like an impossible pose. So here's my computer freezing from trying to move an image around, which it does happen all the time in Manga Studio. I don't think I had to do too much else to this. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks for watching. Part 2 will be up when I make part 2. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.